So take a breath, lean in, and get ready. This is the My New Norm podcast.
I have an advantage over most Americans. I work in the health field. I see the result of poor eating among our patients. I know of a lot of young folks under 30, who are having to see gastroenterologists. If you're having to see gastroenterologists under 30, you're doing something seriously wrong, and you need to pay closer attention to what you're eating on a daily basis.
Well, welcome back to the My New Norm podcast, where we share real stories, real conversations, and real content for navigating life's unexpected changes. I'm your host, Barry Scott Young, and today we're continuing a conversation that generated a lot of interest and a lot of questions. In part 1, season 6, episode 8, challenge some of the most common beliefs we have about food, health, and nutrition. Today, in part 2, we're digging even deeper. Why are so many people struggling with chronic health issues despite having more information about health than ever before? It's a good question to consider. And then how do we separate fact from fiction in a world filled with conflicting nutrition advice? It's all around us every day. And what practical steps can we take to make wiser decisions about food we eat every day? James, welcome to the My New Norm podcast a second time. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for inviting me again.
Again. I'm so glad that you're back. Where do we start? Last time you gave us a background on this. What could you do to help summarize our talk last time before we switch gears to today?
Well, first of all, I've been forced to learn about the strong link between what we eat and how we behave, how we live, and our energy level, how we sleep, and all of that. I think once you learn about the strong link between your food and your health, you will have a little more respect for the types of food, having more awareness of different damaging foods. You can try to protect yourself better than if you have no clue, no knowledge. Because I used to think people are irresponsible for not taking care of their health or eating irresponsibly and the types of food that they're eating. But the more I studied people and their behavior, the more I have realized that people just don't know. They do not know the truth, and they think what the advertiser says about the food, they think what the doctor says about nutrition is the gospel. That's what I have studied, and I have learned certain games that you can play with your body and your food and what you're eating, so you can still, even if you occasionally eat harmful foods, you can still reverse the damaging effect of that food. That's one way to protect yourself. Of course, the best way is to not ever touch that kind of food. Mm-hmm. But there are times when you're, social eating and you're with your friends. You don't want to be stick in the mud, and not eat anything they put in front of you. And then there are damaging and, of course, less damaging. Overall, I think once you master the game that you can play with your body and the nutrition and the strong link between the nutrition and good health or bad health, then you've got it licked. You
Right.
don't have to worry about the diseases that people end up with at you know at even younger and younger age nowadays.
Right.
I'm with a couple of patients who are in their 40s now, and I've had a couple of other patients who are under 30 years old with lots of health issues. And these people have no clue what good eating is
Yeah.
or what.
James, I know that there are listeners listening today thinking, am I really responsible for what's happening in my health today? Because I go to the doctor, I listen to what he's saying, I take the medications that he says I need. I don't think I'm eating bad. Are you saying that what we think will give us health is a scam?
It sure is. There are a lot of industries that focus on fitness. They present that as your total health. If you're a fit person. Many years ago, I one of the Tennessee congressmen whose wife was very fit, exercised. She came down with some health crisis, a serious health crisis, put her in the ICU. And, uh, and of course, when you talk to the congressman talking about his wife, he described her as being very fit, exercised, and all of that. And she still, and it said that I think it was a newspaper article that even healthy people can end up with health crisis. Well, that is incorrect. If you're talking about a healthy person, healthy person doesn't necessarily should not end up with health crisis unless they, catch a virus or something like that. But
Right.
I, even at that point, a healthy person has a much better chances of surviving a disease going around. They can overcome
Right.
uh, the disease or a virus or whatever much quicker and easier than somebody who's not healthy. And fitness, as I've always said, fitness does not mean wellness. You can be fit. You can lift bench press 400 pounds, but if your insides, if at the cellular level, are not healthy, as a result of the meals that you're eating on a regular basis, I don't care how much muscle you have. I don't care how fast you can run, um, and or how flexible you are. You're still not going to be able to protect yourself against those diseases.
It all goes back to desiring to know, what can I eat that's going to give me good health for my cells, instead of looks good, tastes good, but it's destroying my health, because God created our bodies to heal themselves. And so we work against that by what we eat, the oils, the sugars, all that comes into play.
Exactly. Speaking of the oils, I was in a seminar. An MD, a doctor, was doing the speaking, and she was kind of new, a young doctor, and I guess she was given a seminar just to get her name out there. And she started talking about health and wellness. And right away, there were in the audience, there were a lot of older folks, older than 60 and 65. And one of the questions was, what about oils? Um, so what do you think about olive oil? What do you think about vegetable oil? What do you think about safflower oil? And she was getting bombarded with all of these questions, and she wasn't prepared for it. And I try to make it very simple. Um, all oils are bad for you, so you just need to decrease the amount of oils that you consume in your foods and while you're cooking, and or in your salad dressings, or things like that. You just need to lower the consumption, and knowing that the oils are bad for you, they're damaging. Don't have to have them. You should not consume them. But if you think that you have to have them, well, consume them, but don't consume them on a regular basis.
Including olive oil?
Exactly.
Hmm.
All oils, all oils are bad for you,
Hmm.
including olive oil. You just need to lower the consumption. They are all damaging, and the uh, the nutrients are gone in the oils, in the olive oil or vegetable oil. There is no nutrients, and so you just lower their consumption, so the damage will not be as bad. When it comes to foods like that, you just need to not eat them on a regular basis. It's a regular basis that brings about diseases.
Right.
And
Right.
so, yeah, I mean, it was just funny because she got bombarded by all these people. Hey, what about this oil? What about that oil? So I yelled out, "What about baby oil?" And and everybody started looking around. Who said that? What? Because it's ridiculous. I mean, just the answer. She did not know enough to tell people that, yeah, they're all bad. It just you simplify it. You don't need to go through every specific oil. What might be good for it and what is damaging. They're all damaging. So just lower its consumption. Don't eat as much.
Obviously, sugar and our American intake of sugar is off the chart. It's an addictive substance that our body does not need. Sugar tends to be the big toxin that is destroying our health, and it's in everything, even our medications, and our waters, everything. Um, what are some other misconceptions in regards to our health? You wrote about it in your book, Back to Health America.
Well, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about was appendectomy, when you remove your appendix, and cholecystectomy, when you remove your gallbladder. Day surgery to remove your appendix or your gallbladder, unless you run into complications, some kind of complication. But the patient asked the doctor, "Well, doc, what can I eat now?" They go, "Well, just stick to regular diet." And well, it was the regular diet that damaged their appendix and their gallbladder. And but like, gallbladder is a fat emulsifier. It breaks down fat. When you remove the gallbladder, you remove the first line of defense, and then the burden will be on your liver and and other organs in your body. Of course, people don't know that. If they knew the truth, if they knew the facts, they would take care of their health a little better, and they would take some responsibility. And the same way with appendix. Appendix, it secretes an enzyme that when your immune system is down, it tries to replenish the enzymes. It's an important role, and but unfortunately, people just think of it as just a body part that is just there and has no function. It's okay to lose it.
But if it is so unhealthy and it literally erupts, that you would say would have to be taken out, right, as a medical emergency?
Right. Yeah. And the only way it becomes disease, gallbladder, or is if you introduce a lot of fatty food, a lot of processed food to your system, and your gallbladder has to try to clean all that up. And when you get sick, your appendix is releasing enzymes and to help you improve your health, to replenish your gut enzymes. That's what the appendix does. You have nothing to protect you, to warn your body.
What's another misconception that we hear in regards to our health?
There's a lot of hype now about protein, this, protein, that. Just about every drink has protein in it. Every snack has protein in it. They try to promote their product stating the protein, that it has protein in it. And that's what our body needs. Well, our body does need protein, but not in that format. Our body needs protein from food, from raw foods such as raw fruits and vegetables. They have protein in them, and that is enough for our body to function on, to use for our muscles and any other cellular function that we have that requires protein. And
Wow.
so that's I don't know of any drink that you can drink and get protein out of it. I
So
don't.
that means that our purchase of protein powder that we put in our smoothies and all is a waste of money?
Exactly,
Wow.
because it's processed. Because in order for the protein to be healthy, to be live, there are a lot of hundreds of other nutrients and elements that have to support each other in the food. And if the protein is in powder form, it's no longer useless because there is no other nutrients supporting, if even if there is protein in the powder. But once they've been processed, the protein is no longer of any help to your body.
Wow. Wow. So that really made a jolt in someone's mind, including my mind. Um, the things we reach for in the midst of becoming healthy, we just continue the misconception that it's healthy for us.
Mm-hmm.
With making
Mm-hmm.
something sound healthy and look healthy, and what we reach for in the packaging really is not all that it says it is.
Right. And one of the reasons I tried to study it and tried to understand the the role of food in our body and our health uh, was because I guess I have an advantage over most Americans. I work in the health field. I see the result of poor eating among our patients. I see it a lot of time among my coworkers. Uh, but it's a lot of them I've seen. You know, the ones that I've worked with all for almost 40 years, the main problem that they end up with is stomach issues. Stomach issues is what keeps them from working or being productive at work, and and most of the time, 99.99% of the time, is what they are eating. I mean, I know a lot of young folks under 30, who are having to see gastroenterologists. If you're having to see gastroenterologists under 30, you're doing something seriously wrong. And you need to pay closer attention to what you're eating on a daily basis. And it's, I mean, of course, the gastroenterologist turns around and puts you on medications that your body does not need. And and all you have to do, eat a couple apples. Then you don't have to go sit in the doctor's office and wait for. I know I have taken some patients, some friends to gastroenterologists. There's a couple in town that you have to wait hours and hours for them, and once you go in to see them, all they do is just prescribe medication for you. I have had patients who have had stomach issues, and I suggest that they eat some more fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables. Most of the problems go away, stomach issues. And another thing is, you should remember that all diseases start in your gut, all of them.
Wow.
Whether they start the food that you're eating, they start the disease process, or they diminish your immune system to be able to fight other diseases that you may catch or whatever. So it always starts in your gut.
Would you run through what you do during the week and what you eat and what you stay away from?
I try to stay away from coworkers who offer me donuts. I start my day by eating a couple of containers of watermelon or the fruit of the season. If it's honeydew, watermelon, or strawberries, cherries are in season now, and they're wonderful. The big cherries. So that's how I start my day, and I may have a banana. And then a lot of times I don't eat lunch. I just eat more watermelon and more of other fruits. And I need to eat more vegetables. I don't eat as much vegetables, but
What are vegetables to you?
the cauliflower, broccoli, cucumber, onions, lettuce. I eat all of those without any kind of salad dressing because I don't eat salads. I eat vegetables. I mean, a lot of people ask me, "Well, you're vegetarians. You must eat a lot of salads." No, I don't. I just eat a lot of vegetables, and I don't have to have salad dressing, which is filled with sugar and oils that just really takes away the nutrients, or it makes your body harder to digest. Vegetables, fruits and vegetables, raw fruits and vegetables, because of all the nutrients that are in them, live nutrients, they break themselves down by themselves. You don't have to have any kind of enzyme from your body, and so they break themselves down, and then what you are left with is nutrients from the food that contribute to your energy during the day, and also to fight diseases. Now, if you put oil on top of it, then the nutrient from the salad that you're eating, the vegetables that you're eating, are going to try to fight the damage from the oils, so it doesn't leave you much of nutrients. It's going to be busy working on getting rid of the damage of the oils that it's in the salad dressing. So it's best not to ever eat that stuff, and that way you have lots of energy and you have plenty of nutrients in your system, and you have strong immune system, and to be able to take care of a cold that might come around, a virus that might come around.
Your position on this is really interesting. We are so extremely unhealthy that when you say we need to eat foods that are alive, it sounds extreme. We have gone the other way. And so it's unfortunate that your message sounds like an extremist, but it was how this whole thing started. God wanted us to eat in the garden, real foods to give us real things for our real body. And we have gone such the other way that it's funny how you sound extreme and you're not.
When I look around at work, this is every day. And when I worked at local hospitals, and I would be in the working with patients in the ICUs, and um, these people, they look like war victims. I mean, especially where I work. Some have no legs. Some have are not able to move part of their bodies because of the paralysis from stroke and or some other issues. And there is no way, there is no food tasty enough to want me to lose a limb. It's not that people, for most part, want that or are irresponsible in their eating. It's just because they don't know. They don't have the knowledge. I know I have worked with patients that have some of the highest degrees. They're of the elite in the society, and these are the smart people. A lot of them academically, a lot of them financially. Yet they all end up with the same diseases as your uh, not so academically inclined, not so financially inclined. They end up with the same diseases. I've seen judges, I've seen attorneys, I've seen physicians with the same diseases and disorders as your truck driver, as your housekeeper, and they end up in the same beds with the same diseases. Now, one has more money and will be more comfortable going through the disease process, but they will still suffer the loss if they lose their kidneys and they have to be on dialysis. There are a lot of wealthy people who end up with that, and they buy their own dialysis machine. But either way you look at it, they're still grounded at home. They don't have the freedom to go places. They have to stay at home. And they suffer during the process of dialyzing. And then the next day, they suffer just as much until they have to dialyze again. And so this happens between a well-educated or financially well-off or religiously very well connected, but they still end up with the same diseases and disease process.
What if a listener says to themselves, okay, I hear what you're saying, James. Where do I start? And how long will it take for me to begin to see the rewards or the benefit of real foods? How long will it take to start seeing the results?
You should see the result depending on how the percentage, depending on the percentage that you involve yourself with eating healthy. it could take between a week or 2 weeks. A week for most part, that's when you start seeing the difference and the energy level, the productivity, the better sleep pattern, and less joint pain is another one. Like I said, a week or two. But what is important to note is that as soon as you put that apple in your mouth, as soon as you put that apple in your mouth, you start the reversal process of any diseases that you may be suffering from. And especially if you stay with that, if or make it a regular consumption of foods. And one thing I forgot to talk about when I was talking about the enzyme renin and turning and solidifying the liquid milk in the body, uh, so uh, so the enzymes could tackle or break down the protein called casein. It's the I look at it. Um, I look at the water the same way. This is why I stopped drinking water a long time ago when it came to hydrating my body. Now, there are times when I have gone bike riding or whatever, and I'm thirsty. Uh, that's different from drinking water to hydrate your body. To satisfying or quenching your thirst is different than hydrating your body. And so I discovered a long time ago that I can drink and eat my water in in its rawest form, and like in a form of apple or broccoli or cauliflower. They're about 80% water. So when I eat the food, not only I give my body the nutrients that it needs to survive and and be productive, uh, I I take care of the hydration as well, and it's hydration with um, uh, with a lot of nutrients.
Wow.
And, so that's basically it's something that I do. It's what it's what the body does to the milk and the mother's milk. Uh, I do it with my water. I I eat it in the solid form. I drink my water in the solid form. So
Wow. Once again, it seems so extreme because we're so used to hearing and trying to eat 8 glasses of water a day, that seems so normal to us. But you're saying if you eat correctly, the waters that are in our vegetables and our fruits will hydrate us, where there's
right.
no need for additional intake of water. Wow.
Mhm. No, you don't. Yeah, I mean, unless I'm Superman, which I'm not. I mean, I'm very well hydrated, and most of my calories that I consume are highly dense nutrient calories, and people. That's another thing that people worry about. What about the calories? Well, there's a difference between damaging calories or empty calories and highly nutrient dense calories. And like the sugar in the fruit, people always worry about the sugar in the fruit. Well, the sugar, it's not by itself. It's not the only nutrient that by itself. Sugar is surrounded with a lot of uh, uh, other nutrients and vitamins and minerals in the raw fruit and vegetables. So they and the water. so they stay alive. All those nutrients stay alive, and the sugar is in the right balance in the fruits and vegetables, and
Oh,
so it does not damage your body. And
right.
then once you've consumed it, because you've consumed, if you have been consuming healthy foods for a long time on a regular basis, your body knows what to do with that excess sugar. It
Huh.
will it will tackle it with its insulin and bring it down to a normal level.
Well, in part one, we had the addition of one of your clients that I know, and that's Russ, who talked about his journey with you. And within a month of eating this way, he went from being critical. You could have a major event any moment because of high blood pressure, diabetes, and a lot of other things. Within a month, he stabilized his health, started to lose weight, and began to go off all these medications that he was taking and reversed the diabetes and reversed his high blood pressure and has lost weight down to his goal, I think, by now. And that the focus wasn't to lose weight, the focus was to get healthy. And when he
Exactly.
became healthy, he had um, he took care of his weight issue. In in our culture, we want to be healthy, so we say let's exercise, let's lose weight, and we starve ourselves and we become more unhealthy. Or let's say we lose it and then we go back to eating the way we were that made weight on our bodies. So I like your concept better. It's what the body was made for, but it just seems so extreme because of our culture.
Well, when I see cancer patients, when I see stroke patients, when I see patients who have lost limbs as a result of diabetes or high blood pressure, um, there's nothing more extreme than that.
Mm.
And if the extreme foods prevent me, protect me against those things, then so be it. I will be the extreme man.
Well said. Well
Yeah.
said. Well, you've written a book and you wrote it few years back during a time when that wasn't the discussion. It wasn't popular to talk about health or the mixed misconceptions of our health. Um, the book Back to Health America is not about recipes, it's about facts that brought you to the place of not only your health, but helping others get back to where they need to be. Um, how can they get the book? Who was the book for? And what are they going to find in the book?
Um, the like you said, it's not a recipe book. I had read a lot of books by different authors. These were Some of them were surgeons, some were regular physicians, and some were just nutritionists. And I found that those books really don't help um, anybody when it comes to their diseases, reversing their diseases.
Mm.
And I feel like that I need to give the facts about the the strong link between food and our diseases, and talk about things that will prevent people from getting scammed when it comes to purchasing a lot of different products to get healthy. And so one of them is this is the extreme way of getting healthy. Some of the people who have had a lot of patients that I work with, they've had the gastric bypass. These people suffer a lot of issues, health issues, after they've had the surgery. And because they just did some anatomical changes, not mental changes. You have to really get it together mentally as far as the how the relationship with the food and the diseases and obesity. And if you don't learn that, you're going to go back and cheat and try to eat some of the stuff that you were used to. You've got to change your mindset. And if you don't change your mindset, you still don't know. And the surgeons are ready for those who are not educated. Surgeons are, I mean, just they're ready to take out any parts of your body. And to me, it's really less dangerous if you just take off a limb just so your weight will come down, because that's what people are always talking about. You lose weight, you improve your health. That is the biggest lie. You improve your health and you'll lose weight automatically.
Wow. Well, they can get your book, I believe, on Amazon. Look for James Igani. It's Igani. And you can order the book today. And within a week, you can start the process of the questions, the learning, and the ways you can get informed to help you steward your health. Well, James, I want to thank you for coming back for part 2. I know there's a whole lot more, but they can get the book and do more research and continue to ask the right questions, keep getting informed, and they will see a significant change in their health. As I wrap this up today in this episode, we also wrap up season 6 of the My New Norm podcast. It's been a great season, and we're going to come back with more guests, more meaningful conversations, powerful stories of resilience, and opportunities to learn from people who have faced life challenges and discovered a new way forward. Get ready for season 7 coming to a screen near you. My name is Barry Scott Young, your host of the My New Norm podcast. Thanks again, James, for being with us.
Thank you.